Hello, everyone. Roger with Creating Your Spiritual Universe, CWYSU.com. CWYSU.com. And tonight I want to talk about Orgone energy and Orgonite. And I want you to have an open mind about this because what you have known about Orgonite, you may have to toss out. You may have to toss out. Because I've done a bit of research on it, and what I've learned might be a little different than what, well, it was different than what I knew before, and what I was taught before. And, you know, I say from time to time, I like to move from beliefs to knowing. Because as long as you stay in the land of beliefs, believing, B-E-L-I-E-V-E, there's B and there's lie in there, and V-E, B-Lie-E, belief. You can be fooled, you can be deceived. So you want to know so that when when you know something, nobody can overload you with information because you already know the truth and everything else is. All right, so let's get on with it. First of all, let's talk about what Orgone is. Let's talk about what it is. Orgone is life energy. Orgone is the energy produced by living beings and living things. We produce it. Animals produce it. Plants produce it. Everything in nature produces it that has life. Organic beings, organic material. So let's just get that straight for starters. So when you have something that has completely inorganic materials in it, orgone, there's no orgone. There are other things that are there, but it's not orgone. So we're gonna stick with orgone. Then I'm gonna expand out to the other energies that nobody ever talks about. Well, not nobody. The few people that actually do the research and do the work and do the testing know this. And so let's talk about how orgone is produced. Orgone is produced by living beings, by living things. And orgone is also heart energy. It's life energy. We naturally produce it. There's not really much to talk about how it's produced. We really don't know how nature does. We just know it as life energy. And the person that brought attention to this was a man by the name of Wilhelm Reich. Wilhelm Reich in the 1930s and 40s. His discoveries about this energy that is abundant around us. He wrote material on it. If you try to find his original stuff, it's very difficult to find. This gentleman, this poor guy, was put in prison for no reason, put him where he died because of what he discovered. And it was so easy to access and make that the government threw him in jail and clearly distorted the material about Orgonite and Orgone energy because you really couldn't stop anybody from making it if you really knew how. So how do you do it? How do you stop someone from doing that, from gaining that kind of energy and power? You distort, you cover up, and you destroy the information. Because the thing with Orgone energy, to use it fully, you must have good intent. And you cannot, it shuts down if you try to use it for anti-life agendas. You cannot use it for anti-life agendas. You cannot use it to break free will. It has an intelligence, and it's controlled by a force that is very intelligent, a benevolent force. Okay, a benevolent force. And so, if you understand that part of it, and you understand the organic nature of how it's created, which is very simple, just as I just said a few minutes ago. And you look at the information, you will be able to decipher this. And if you're really connected, you really talk about being connected to your spirit, you will receive guidance from your spirit about what to do and how to make things. Now, to make true Orgonite is very simple. I know that you see the fancy Orgonite pieces, like say, I have one, this right here. Beautiful, check it out. Beautiful. It's rose quartz. It's got a nice, beautiful quartz wrapped with copper inside. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. Great energy. I am now becoming more sensitive to energy as I evolve, I guess. But I have a lot of friends that are empathic, very sensitive to energy. And I bought this because I was out with a friend of mine, and he picked it up and said, oh my God, this is gorgeous, beautiful energy. And I just had the urge, get that, buy it. And it's called Orgonite, right? An Orgonite material. And it's a pyramid. Anything shaped, most things shaped like a pyramid, and some of the shapes I'm going to be talking about, begin to act as a crystal. The very shape of a pyramid, anything shaped into a pyramid starts behaving like a crystal. Okay, so remember that. But I will tell you right now that the energy coming out of this is not Orgone. There is not one bit of Orgone coming out of this. You know why? Because none of this is organic. And if you want the true and the best source of Orgone, you gotta have carbon. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The energies coming out of this are other kinds of energies. Doesn't mean they're not good, but they're other kinds of energies. And it's not Orgone, because nothing in here is organic. So this should not be called Orgonite, because there's no Orgone coming out of it. And we'll discuss we'll discuss the details of that in a little bit. Pretty piece, but ain't no Orgonite coming out of it, no Orgone coming out of it, because it doesn't have any organic material. It doesn't have carbon. That's the key, carbon. Okay, so let's continue on here. So what are we doing when we're working with Orgonite, or what do we really want to do? The earth has natural healing abilities and mechanisms that kick in naturally to heal anything that's going on. Okay, I'm posting a video because I'm not going to expand. I'm just going to expand on the basics here. I'm not going to get into all the other stuff. And if you're interested, I'm going to have a playlist with I'm going to make 3 videos. This video is explaining Orgonite and what it is and what it does and how it can help you. And then I have another 2 how-to videos. So you can simply make devices really inexpensively and very simply and very easily with stuff you have laying around your house. Because I want people to start using this stuff. And if you want to do that, you have to make it easy. You have to make it duplicatable. You have to adopt the business model of, if you want a lot of people to do something, you have to make it so that it can be easily duplicated. This, not easily duplicated, okay? Not easily duplicated. So, and you don't need it. So that's what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to post on that playlist the works and the studies of the old lab rat. Now he gets a little preachy, a tiny bit political, and a little bit religious. The beginning of one of the videos. Don't let that get to you. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Skip past that and go to the real information. This man's done a lot of great work, and I've followed up on some of the stuff he's done, and it's real. It's true. Because I did work on this so that when I decided to make it and work and pass this information on, at least I knew what I'm passing on to you right now. I know for a fact because I checked it and I tested it. And anything I don't know about, I'm not going to talk about. Anything I don't know about, I'm not going to talk about. But I had an agenda of what I wanted to do, and what I wanted to put out. And so I'm going to be linking his stuff, and I'm going to be linking Rupert Sheldrake's stuff, another guy, on this, so you can have a full playlist, because I really want people to start doing this stuff, right? Because this stuff is going to help with keeping you healthy, help against neutralizing the Wi-Fi and the EMF in your home, help to bring healing, just taking the natural healing that is available in the atmosphere, and direct that healing to you and your loved ones, and to neutralize a lot of the stuff being done, a lot of the chemicals being poured in the air on us, a lot of the EMF, like I just said, Wi-Fi, smart meters. We have the answers. Nothing can be done to us without the solution available. That's a universal law. Okay? So, what I want to start talking about is Orgone collectors and Orgone distributors. And what I really want to focus mostly on are the distributors. Okay? Because you'll get a lot of things, and you buy Orgonite, and they say, oh, this makes Orgonite, this produces it, this saves you from everything, this is perfect, this neutralizes everything. I'm going to dispel a lot of the myths and just deal with the facts and things that are proven, and get rid of the rubbish, get rid of the garbage. Okay? Nothing produces Orgonite. Nothing that's made produces Orgonite. It has to be a life. It has to be organic to produce Orgonite. Okay, so let's talk about, but you don't really need to produce Orgonite. It's just made naturally. We all do it. Nature does it. Don't worry about that too much, is what I discovered when I went to look at all of this. What I discovered is that it's much more important to understand how to direct the energy and to have it work for you. That's what's important. So they have us focusing on things like this. Oh, you make Orgonite with this. When the real important thing to do is to focus on using the abundant energies that are Orgonite and other energies to work for us. And on that note, let us get straight to the point, because there are a lot of things, like I said, there's a lot more information than what I'm giving you here, but I'm only going to talk about what I know. So let's talk about shapes. Let's get two shapes here. So when you have something that's shaped like a cone, even a glass of water that's got that cone shape can be a distributor. You have, what automatically happens is this shape, this cone shape begins to behave like a crystal. The key is in the shape. The key is in the shape. The minute you have this shape, it starts acting like a crystal. Now, what do I have in my hand? It's pretty ugly. Let's compare the two things. This thing and this thing. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. The stuff that's powerful and really works is ugly. It's ugly. You can make it in your backyard in 10 minutes. What is in this? This is concrete. This is cement that you can get from your local, place that sells cement. Portland cement. This is mortar cement because it's smoother. Doesn't have the gravel in it. It's 50% sand, 50% cement. And organic, natural. Same stuff, pretty much. Very similar to the stuff they made the pyramids from. lime, and a few other natural elements compose this. And when you create this shape, it automatically starts doing something. It has, on the bottom of this, it automatically starts doing what I call creating a collector field and a distribution field. What is being collected? Antions are being collected. About and cations are being collected, excuse me, and anions are being distributed out. This will automatically start targeting something. So in nature, what happens is when things need to be healed, like for example, we've got a situation where there's a forest fire and the forest burns. And in no time, it recovers. Because what happens is all the trees and everything are made of carbon. The minute it drops, nature and the earth automatically starts producing from that carbon life regenerative forces that target anything around and starts feeding it life force, Orgone energy and other energies, so that it pops back very quickly. So if this is a tree that's say a hickory tree, it first starts looking for another hickory tree that needs help. It starts targeting. If an hickory tree, another one's not around, it goes to the next thing. It goes to another tree and it starts targeting it. And this goes on all throughout the forest, all throughout nature. And before you know it, it's bouncing back. It's that natural healing energy. That's what we want to start using and directing with conscious intent. Okay? So, like nature, we are now going to start imitating nature. Because we're nature, right? And we're going to start using these. Now, what are cations and what are anions? Now, have you ever been in nature and you feel really good, and you feel really good because nature contains negative ions, very big in negative ions. And our homes are very full with positive ions, with all the lights, with all the electricity and all that. The negative ions are what heal us, make us feel good. The positive ions are the things that can be harmful, especially if you have too much of them. That's why grounding is good. Getting out, putting your food out there, going into nature and all that is healthy for you. It heals you. It brings you back into balance. Ooh, I have a bee in here. I don't know how I got in here, but that's fine. I love bees. Anyway, so what we're talking about here is these negative ions are called anions, and the positive ones are called cations. And so what we want to do is with these, because this does not have any organic material in it. And it's okay, because what we're interested in is distributing, is working with the distributor fields and the collector fields. Okay? And one of those people just say the field, but that's what we're interested in, because we want to start directing that energy, and that's what's most important. Okay? So how do we actually do this? What's the deal? Because there is a right way and a wrong way to do this. Now, most people, when they get their Orgonite device, they stick it on a dresser, they stick it on a table, they stick it on a coffee table, like the one to my left here, and they put it there. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, generally speaking, unless, and I'll give you the exception, because at the bottom here is the collector field. The collector field is it collects, right? And it collects, and it will take life energy from you. If you're sitting below it or at its level, you want to be above it. So when you have that sitting next to your dresser and you lay down, you've got that field. It goes like this, and it goes like this, and it's coming out, and that collector field, because remember it collects, it's collecting life energy from you. You wake up, you're tired. Okay? But if you like it and you like where it's at, then don't worry, because I've got the solution. Because what you're supposed to do with this stuff is put it on the floor, put it below you. And you should always have it below you. So you're even if you're walking by, if most of your body's above it, that's fine. You want to have it on the floor or below you so that you only are subjected to the distributor fields where it's distributing anions into your body. And if you're below, it's going to take it out of your body. Okay? So it's super healthy. Okay? If it's made from natural material. Now here's the thing with this stuff. This is acrylic. Not only is when it's distributing this to you, it's also distributing acrylic into your body. Because you have to remember, this is a crystal, and now we have a base, a collector field, and a distributor field. So that's something to consider when you have this stuff. This is natural. All of the things in here can be found in the human body. So when you have distribution coming from here of anions, all the materials here are organic. I mean, all the materials here are natural and not harmful, because natural things can be harmful too. You know what I'm saying? Natural things can be poisonous. Poison oak is natural. You're not going to go wallow in it, though, are you? No, nobody's going to do that. So these are harmless to the body, and all this is concrete and water. It is the shape, remember, that is important. And I'm going to talk about these two shapes. It is the shape that then creates this collector field, distributor field. Okay? So, what's the big deal with this? First of all, you want to set this. This is ugly. So if you have one of these, I'm going to just say, if you have one of these, and it's sitting level to you, stick one of these down below, and when that's pulling energy out of you, this will automatically start giving it to you, because the minute you start becoming deficient, it targets you. It's an intelligent force. It starts targeting any living thing that is being, let's just say, that is having life force taken out of it, and it starts giving you that. Just like nature does. That's how nature constantly repairs itself. Something gets damaged in nature, boom, there's something looking. There's an energy and a force that's looking to heal it, and automatically starts healing it right away. So that's the force that you're activating here. Okay, that's the force that you're activating here. Oh, look, my bee. It loves the distributor field. Look at that. It landed right on there. You know, I'm not lying, because you just saw it. So it targets things to heal it. And so you want to use these same principles. Okay? You want to use the same principles. Maybe I should, okay. He's okay. He's all right. I was thinking about maybe stopping the camera and letting him out. But I'm not getting it. He really wants to go, so that's fine. Or she, because the worker bees are she's. So that's what we want to activate. So you want to put this down on the ground. Now it's ugly, right? Stick it behind behind a piece of furniture. Stick it behind a dresser. Nobody has to see it. You don't have to hang it prominently. You don't want this being at the level of where you're sleeping anyway. So it's perfect. And so you stick it against the dresser and stick it against the wall, facing out into the room. Okay? And you start using that natural healing from nature. And this will start to neutralize and harmonize the environment. And if you come home and you have something going on, it'll target that to start healing you, just like in nature. So you're bringing that consciousness, you're bringing that energy into your home. Put it on the ground, hide it behind a dresser, have one in each room. Now, you're probably wondering why I have two shapes. You're probably wondering why I have two shapes. This cone shape and this, there's a difference between them. This particular shape, it works, it's fine. But this shape is more powerful and more productive. Why? Because of this. This is a shape, it's kind of shaped like according to the Oleva, because you're not using material and you have more space, and you have this right here, this little lip going up, not lip, but this little point, it looks like a breast. Yes, it looks like a woman's breast. And this imitates a lot of things in nature. I just mentioned a woman's breast. What nourishes you when you first come to this planet? Or what should be, let's just say. And it also resembles a tree stump. So when a tree is cut down, that stump is targeted. So it resembles what naturally occurs in nature. Cones occur in nature too, but this is much more prominent. And this seems to be more efficient and more productive. Okay? I like these better than I like these. They both work. If all you have is a cone, go ahead and use it. Better than nothing. Use it. Use it. Okay? Use it. So it is the shape, just to review once more, it is the shape that gives this the power. It is the shape. And you're not collecting or getting any orgone energy from this. I want to repeat, no orgone energy is coming out of this because it doesn't have organic material. But our aim here is to use the other life-giving energies. The other life-giving energies. The other rejuvenators. There are other and rejuvenating energies here other than orgone. And this will distribute it. It won't create it. None of this stuff creates it. People say, oh yeah, this device creates. No. We're the creators of orgone along with all of our other life forms, our plant brothers and sisters, animals and such. So I repeat that because I know that that's what we hear all the time. So I'm beating a dead horse because I really want to drive the point home about that. So what are we doing? We're distributing. And we want to get those anions coming into our bodies, not the cations, the anions. So how do you put this? Put this against the wall. When you put this against the wall, there's the collector field that I say you don't want to be near that collector field. You don't want to be in the collector field because it will suck energy from you. So the collector field goes out about, I don't want to keep my hand on there for too long. It's not dangerous, super dangerous, but I'm trying to figure out how far. He says 2 feet, 2 or 3 feet. Okay, still feeling it, still feeling it. I don't want to get out of the range of the camera, so I'm going to pull this one. Still feeling it. If I go out of the range, I'll tell you when still feeling it. Okay, we're about at 2 feet. Still feeling it. At about 3 feet, I can't feel anything. So that collective field bunches up here. That collective field bunches up here. Here's what this is always looking for. It's always looking for cations or cations. When you put it up against the wall, the electrical wiring in your house is a great source for that. So this is now going into the walls and neutralizing a bit of that EMF for you. This is now doing that. And out of here, because the only thing that comes out of here are anions, the stuff you need, it's distributing anions to you. Seems real simple, but let me tell you, a lot of things and solutions in life are simple. So simple, we don't believe them and we overlook them. They're hiding in plain sight. And I'm trying to bring them out of plain sight into everyone's sight as possible, as much as possible. So you wanna, yeah, that's what it does. So it's neutralizing the EMF in your house. I have one in every room, hidden. You can't see it. If you walk in, you won't see it because I have it hidden behind stuff. And you want to have this pointing because if you live in an apartment building and you have it, and by the way, the natural idea is to just sit it down on the floor like that. No, you want it against the wall, and you want it pointing out into the room. Okay, pointing out into the room. Simple as that. So this is more productive than this. The other thing that makes this, gives this an advantage is, let me put it down, this has a much stronger collector field. So if you sit this down, you want to have this facing out. Anyway, when you face these, you want to, if you live in a big apartment or whatever, you don't want to put this and then the other guy and the neighbors next door are in the collective field. You want to put it away from where people live. Like if you have someone living back here and someone living there, but then you've got like a space over here and space over here like I do, you put it against those walls so you don't affect your neighbors. And you give them one too if you're making. I give my neighbor. Hey, I explained it to him. And, he didn't look at me as if it's weird talk. A lot of people are now waking up and, they might not be, they might not be completely, there and going, hey, and talking about all kinds of things like aliens and all that, but they're to the point where they know that there's something going on. When I talked to him about this and all that, he didn't quite understand 100%, but he was totally with it. And so the next day, his sister came out and said, oh, yeah, we put that on the wall. I didn't even talk to her. Yeah, it's sitting in there. We have our dog. I don't remember whether it said the dog liked it or not, but I have a friend of mine. I gave it to her, and she has cats. And she said, those cats, I gave her a bunch because I like the cats. So I gave one for each, and they're against the wall. And she says her cats are on them every day in front of the distributor field every day because they can feel the healing. They know that energy. They're looking for that. When they're not feeling good, they're looking for that. If your cat isn't feeling good, I guarantee you they will go outside and come in to eat, and then they'll spend a lot of time outside because they're looking for that energy, that healing energy. And she says they sit in front of it every day. Specifically, she says it's not a mistake. They're doing it every day. Okay? It's not just a piece of concrete with a whole bunch of hooey mumbo jumbo. Because if you're sensitive to energy, you'll be able to feel it. I'm not super sensitive, and I was able to do that test. And I can feel that energy. I can feel that energy right now. I don't keep my hand in there. But it's okay, because if it's pulling over here, I'm holding it in this hand, it's giving over here while it's pulling over here, so it's neutralizing itself. And so when you put this against the wall, it has a longer range than that one, this one here that I just showed you. So I prefer this shape. Either way, use something. Now, how did I make these? I've got the how-to video coming up. This, I poured the concrete into this funnel. I blocked the hole a little bit. If you want to, you can put a marble in there or something to really make a nice round shape. I didn't do that, and see how ugly it is. Oh. You grease it so it comes out easy. When it's dry, pop it out. In 6 hours, you can handle it. In 24 hours, it's dry. And concrete is always getting harder and harder and harder. The longer it stays, the harder it gets. It constantly gets harder, concrete. That's kind of a rule. Everybody who works with it knows that. So I just do that. That's my mold. A funnel from the hardware store for $2. Easy to get, easy to duplicate. I bought the concrete. I bought a 50-pound bag, $8.50, $2. There you go. I have an Orgone distributor. I have a how-to video after this on how to mix it and all that. It's pretty easy. There you go. That's it. No fancy crystals, no anything. You don't need that to distribute the Orgone energy and the other healing energies, the anions. You don't. You just need this shape. You could use glass. You could use cement. Those things work. It's the shape. And you want to use things that are going to be beneficial for the body. I know I have that. I know I have this. But I will never get anything like that again because I don't want silicone and I don't want acrylic in my body. But I have that there to give you an example. All right? So that's the key. That's all you do. How did I get this shape? Margarita glass from your local party store or whatever. It's plastic. Set of 7, $1.99. You pour it into that, grease it, pop it right out. Pop it right out. And there you have it. That's all it takes. You don't need all that fancy stuff. And so you set this up in your home, against the wall, point it in, and you're good on the floor. Not on any dresser or any counter. And you probably don't want to, you're probably going to be, this doesn't go with the decor. Good. You'll be reminded by how it looks and how ugly it is, that it goes on the floor hidden behind something. And it will target you if you need anions, if you need healing, if you've got pains. It'll target you because you're an organic. You're organic. It'll target you. Your plants, that broken leaf, it'll target it. Your cat sick, it'll target it. Put one in every room. There are those who create one for themselves and they put they put their DNA, they wipe themselves with a cloth or whatever, and they have one specific for that, and they put it right over there, and your DNA is on it. Boom. Because that's a strong connection, it'll continuously target you. That's just something to keep in mind. And again, in the videos, I said, lab rat talks about that. But like I said, I'm not going to go into all this. I just want to get into the basics. I just want people to start doing it, start making it. So I don't want to make it complicated because it's not. None of these fancy coils and things of that nature. Just make these. Put them against the wall in your home. They'll neutralize them. They'll work against your smart meters that they're putting up. Because imagine every conversation, you're getting all these signals from telephone. Remember, manage every conversation that is going on. Every conversation is being routed through your home. that's why a lot of us have trouble with calming the mind, because you've got all this stuff going on and you can't hear it with your natural ear. It's deep down into the, you know, it bypasses that, and then you wonder what's going on with these. And what you also want to do is get, you know, they have those little stickers, those anti-EMF stickers. Get that too. Combine the two. Now that you're going to spend a little bit of money on. Get them and put them in your home. Neutralize that stuff. Okay? It's worth it. It's worth the peace of mind. I have one on my computer. I have on my on my Wi-Fi, and I don't have a smart meter, and I don't want one, and I won't allow it. And but I've got something for you if you have a smart meter. I've got another shape. Before that, we're going to talk about how to make something that actually collects orgone. And you won't believe how simple it is, and it's ugly as heck. This is charcoal. That's carbon. That's what you need to turn this into an orgone collecting mechanism. That is it. But like I said, I'm not focusing on it, but I thought I'd mention it because carbon is a requirement. It's the one thing you want because it's easy to get. Went over to the local drugstore. $5.88 for a bag of charcoal. I took a hammer, mashed it up. Take a hammer, mash it up, and mash up a whole lot of it, mix it in with the cement. Now you have an organic material. Now one of the energies you're going to have being collected is orgone. Organic material, carbons and everything. We are known as carbon-based life forms. So is a tree, so is a dog, so is anything that has a life. So is a fish, so is anything that has life. So you want to turn it into an orgone collector? There you go. That's how you do it. That's simple. That's simple. None of this. You got to have this in there. You got to have a. Now, if you want to put a crystal in there, all that, good. You can do all that. You can put wire windings in there. But you got to be careful because how you wind the wire affects the device. You have it turning the wrong way, it can have a negative impact on you if you don't have it turned. If you have it turned the wrong way, all of a sudden what you think is a distributor field is now the collector field, and you got this stuff and you pick it up and you're like, oh my God, what's wrong? But you don't need any of that. Okay? You don't need any of that. Not for what we are doing. So there we are with the carbon. Now, we're going to go to the next step here, which is, let me get my situation together here. Let me get my little, I have a little, I'm going to go down now where I'm going to be showing how to create something here. Now, the other shape I'm talking about is this shape. Yeah, it looks, it's a triangle. It's like a quarter of a pyramid. It's a quarter of a pyramid. We're using the power of the pyramid. How did I make this shape? Plain and simple. You can get molds if you want to, but I'm going to show you the easy way. See this little container? Can you see it there? All I did is pour the concrete into here after I mixed it. Again, I'll have a how-to video. It's in part 2. And then I let it set, and then I pop it out, and the shape looks like this. That's all it is. Check it out. That's all it is. And you know how to set it right because the tallest part goes to the inside. Okay? That's how you make that. Again, the shape will act as a crystal. And when you do this combination that I'm talking about right now, you start invoking the physics and certain principles. Very simple. Very simple. So what we want to do now is create what people call, no, let me not jump the gun on that. So when you put this together, this is what it looks like, right? It's kind of rough. Again, these things are not perfectly shaped. Look at them. Look at them. One's a little bigger, not perfectly shaped. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Do not let perfection get in the way of the good. Again, not pretty, because how you're going to use these, amazing. Amazing. So what does this do? What does this actually do? I'm going to bend the camera down a little bit because I'm going to talk about how we access certain principles. Let us do this now. So you can see how they're together, and it looks like sort of like a, a poor man's pyramid. Okay, so right now you do have a little bit of energy coming out of that. Not very powerful. Let me try this. If you do this with 3 of them, you have tremendous energy coming out of that. You can make what they call a tower buster. What's a tower buster? You know those cell phone towers that are flat out dangerous, that they have not tested, that they're doing the 5G conversions with? They're spending billions to do that, and all you need to do is spend a couple of dollars and you visualize everything they do. Now, let's go to 4. And this is the one I recommend, right? We got the 4. The minute you separate these out, you separate them out like that. You see the gap? Ooh. Let me pick up the camera and see if I can make that a little better. Oops. Can you see that? How that's laid out on those 4 corners? So you spread them out like that, and suddenly what you've got going on is you've just activated the physics of the Bernoulli principle. What is the Bernoulli principle? It says as you decrease the pressure, which is what you do when you separate them out, you increase the velocity of the energy. Right now, if I put my hand over it, says this is an experiment, I can feel that energy. And it is fast. It is fast as it's coming out of there. Okay, so let's reset this situation. Let's reset the situation here. Okay? And what this does is that sends energies. And by the way, this is not Orgone energy. This is other benevolent energy. And with your intent, you direct this energy. You send it up to the clouds to clear the skies and clear the ethers and clear the chemicals in the air. Remember, this is not doing it. This is simply a tool to get this energy, collect and direct it. Not collect it, but direct it. And with your intention only. You want to be kind, and you don't want to be rude when you do that. Just gratitude is such a powerful emotion, such a powerful, mental state. In the state of gratitude, you ask the forces, and you, with your intention, you direct them. Send this up. And when you make these, they are made and they maintain and they'll hold the consciousness of the maker of the. So if you're a person that's got a high level of consciousness, now what is consciousness? Consciousness can't really be defined. But I like to throw like a definition to it, and it's the amount of energy that you generate and that you can possess and wield based upon what you've done throughout your existence. I'm talking about from the beginning that you were created as a spark of source. All the consciousness that you have garnered through all those many lifetimes, some of us millions, that goes into this. And if you have a tremendous amount of consciousness, or even if you are, and I'm going to say, don't think that you don't, because if you reach the level of being a human being, you have a tremendous amount of consciousness. Full stop. If you are a human being, you have a tremendous amount of consciousness. Some of you are old souls, it's even more. And that goes into here. Now, if somebody else makes it for you, it's going to have their consciousness. And if you then take possession of it, you know, they give it to you, then you can transfer your consciousness into it, and you can wield the energy that way. So when you do this, it'll clear the clouds and the ethers of those chemtrails. You put this under a smart meter, and it'll neutralize it. You put this under a tower, cell tower, neutralize it. The thing about this is, though, and the reason why, to just put this under a cell tower might be a little not risky, but might shut down, is because if you put something in the middle of it, so if a leaf or anything falls in the middle of it, finished. So I always just recommend the 3, and you put them like that, and they're always working because nothing's going to get in the middle of it. But with this, something gets in the middle of it, crosses it, shuts down. And by the way, this is benevolent energy. You can't use it to do wrong or do evil. It will shut down on you. It will shut down on you. This simple formation, as easy and simple as it sounds, can do a lot. Feeling a little tired? Put this in your home. You're going to get energy. Put it under your chair as you're sitting, and watch you become energized from being tired. No drinking any silly monster drinks that are tearing up your body. You don't know what they put in it. Right here. Right here. Easy to make, inexpensive, simple. Take this, put it outside in the front yard, because you can see it every day. If something gets into it, you just move it out. Everybody should have one of these in their yard, one of these little formations. Make them simple. You can get you can buy a mold if you want. But all you need is the corner of a box, cardboard box. That's it. You can make a permanent mold out of a, I have a mold. I've made a few out of sand. I have a little plastic container. I put sand in there, and I create a mold. I have the how-to on how to do that. Easy. And so, you don't run out of boxes. You simply wet the sand, you create the mold, you pour it in, and then when it's dry, you'll see it in the how-to video. When it's dry, you pull it out, and you have another one of these. You have this shape. So you can just keep making them. Keep making them. And give them away and tell your friends. Send them to this video. Send them to this video. And we can start taking responsibility in matters in our own hands, because we're not helpless here, folks. This is the message I want to bring here. We're not helpless. Let me bring the camera back up. We are not helpless here. With your consciousness and with your intention, you can direct energy to heal yourself, your family. Costs very little. For me to make, I think I've made maybe about 25 devices so far, like these and these. If I add up how much I spent, $8.60 for the cement. I bought some sand because I wanted. I got the plastic molds. Mold maker I just talked about. I bought some sand. I think that cost me another $8. And I bought a little mixing spatula. $2. Bought this, $2. Bought a pack of these. They cost about 22, less than $25. And most of those things, with the exception of the cement, are one-time expenditures. That's it. And I can make about another 150 of them. And I make them, and I take them, and everywhere I go, I take a little bit. I have a little trenching tool. I dig. I only need to dig about this much, and I bury these guys for healing, just to create more avenues for healing of the planet. You don't need to do much. Do your little part. I make these. I have 2 to 4 in my yard. And I'm making them, and I'm giving them to people. I'm saying, put this in your yard. You want to know about it? I can tell you. But if you don't have time, I have a video. You can go check it out, and you can experiment yourself, and then we can talk about it together. This is how we work together to make this world a better place. It's simple things. It's the little things that can be duplicated across the board by many people. Those are the things that make the changes, the biggest changes. The simple things duplicated across the board by many is how the changes, is how we'll change this planet. Don't worry about the big problems. They're just a facade anyway to make you think you can't do anything, to make you think you're helpless. They have those big billion-dollar planes up there spraying. What are we going to do? And they have these ads. They're spraying us like roaches, blah, blah, blah. And they have this family looking up like they're helpless, unable to do anything about it. Bull. We can. We can. And this is one of the ways that we can do so. So thanks a lot. Thank you so much for watching. And start doing this. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Watch the other 2 videos where I do the how-to on this. I just wanted to give you the basic information on this stuff so that you can actually go ahead and start really taking action in your little neck of the woods, just like I've taken action in my little neck of the woods. And together, we'll transform this place because we have to. Because we have to. Because the people who have this place like this, it's a small amount of number. It's a small number. It's a small number, people. Really small number. People say the 1%. It's not even that. It's the controllers of the 1%. And they number less than 10,000. And there's 7.5 billion of us, and we let less than 10,000 people push us around. When all it takes is 10% of us to change everything. So let's do it. And this is very simply one of the ways. You've just bypassed money by doing something like this. Anybody can do this. Save $1 a day. And in a month, you're making Orgone distributors and cloud busters and directing nature's energy to your will in a benevolent fashion, helping everybody on the planet. Hi guys, I had ended the video and I came back because I forgot one really important step. This is in regard to the Bernoulli principle, the Bernoulli, when we're using the Bernoulli pyramid. and that is there is a distance at which you can set this, and if you make it too wide, you lose the whole thing. We've got a plane flying overhead. If you make it too wide, you lose the entire thing. This is a principle as to how wide you can space out these things. And so basically the test is you go like that, and if it's still touching, then you're in space. So you move it out a little bit, touching, and as soon as you don't touch, you know you've gone too far. You bring it in, and then you've got it perfect, and you do it, with the this way, and then you do it with the other one like that to make sure that your spacing is proper. That's a very small step, very easy, but very important, because if you've got them spaced out like that, you think bigger is better. No, it's right there, and for this, about right there would be perfect. About right there. So that's how we want to space it out when we set up that, when we open up that pyramid and create that Bernoulli effect. That's what we want to do. So I just wanted to come back and make that clear. So I noticed as I went back and reviewed, because I always review to make sure I don't miss anything. I noticed that I missed that. All right, thank you so much. And remember to defy the taboo against finding out who you are.